For this video, we want to talk about the proper rounding for z-scores and other numbers, just regular rounding tips and everything. So for this first one, I have that our data value is 32, our sample mean is 34, and our sample standard deviation is 3.02. Remember with z-scores, we're going to take 32, which is our data value, minus our mean of 34, and divide that by 3.02, which is our standard deviation. Now in the calculator, there's two different ways I can do this. I can either do 32 minus 34 and get a -2, and then divide that by my standard deviation, leave that in there and just hit divide by 3.02 and hit equals. And notice I get a -0.662251656. I'm going to show you the other way in the calculator, which is to put parentheses around the numerator when you put it in, such as this. So I'm going to do 32, notice I opened my parentheses, 32 minus 34, close your parentheses because that's your entire numerator, divided by 3.02. Notice I get the exact same number. Now z-scores are only 2 decimal places. So if I could spell correctly, so we're going to have 2 decimals. So I'm going to leave it, z is equal to, I want to keep these 2 decimal places, but rounding I have to look at the next number. If this next number is 5 or greater, I go up on this one. If it's 4 or less, I stay with this number. So this case it's a 2, so I'm going to stay with -0.66. Okay? Now let's look at the second example that I have written here, which our data value is 39, our mean is 34, and our sample standard deviation is 3.04. So same mean and same standard deviation, just a different data value. So my z-score is going to be 39 minus 34. Notice my mean is always in the second position, and then 3.04. So 39 minus 34 gives me a 5 divided by my standard deviation. And so I'm going to divide by 3.04, and I get 1.644736842. And again, z-scores, I want to keep 2 numbers behind the decimal place. This number is a 4 or less, so I'm going to keep it as a 1.64. Okay? Now let's just say that we have 40 minus 34 and divide by 3.04. So that would be a 1.97. Okay? 41 minus 34 divided by 3.04. That'd be stay a 2.30. So notice none of these so far have we actually had to do anything different to that second decimal place. Now if I take, let's say I just do 5 divided by 3, notice that that's 1.6666666, and they round it to 7 here. So if I have a 1.666667, I want to keep 2 numbers behind the decimal place. So I'm going to look at this number. Notice that number is 5 or larger. So if it's 5 or larger, I'm going to bump up the next number. So I'm going to bump that 6 to a 7, and I'll have 1.67. So those are our differences in rounding, also in how to put in the z-score in your calculator. So make sure that you're doing proper rounding techniques and rounding to the decimal point that either the program or I ask for. So go ahead and go try some of these and let me know if you have any questions.